skin, muscle, tissue.
Together,
We as humans have no problem consuming these things when they're from another animal. In fact, a good piece of meat is considered to be among the upper echelons of nourishment. But as expected, there's a line we cannot cross. Our species and society rightfully has evolved so that even the idea of ingesting the flesh of another human is enough to set off all of someone's internal alarms. Depictions of cannibalism have always been the subject of something terrifying. Zombies, ghouls, titans. It should completely go against our natural instincts. Enter pupa. Oh, what the she a munch! This is what happens when some manga authors think taboos are just mere warnings against what you shouldn't do. So they're like, let's write about incestuous underage cannibalism. That'll get me big bucks. Anime is kind of like Rule 34. If there's a fetish, there probably exists an anime for you. Which is a fucking problem because as someone who watches anime now, I'm associated with you. And now, a show like Pupa decides to collect all the infinity stones of weird fetishes and have the balls to even exist. The best we can do to somewhat salvage the reputation of the medium is separate some of these garbage shows from the rest and collectively have a laugh at it. So that's what we're gonna do. It begins with this high schooler, and he loves his sister a lot. Like, the Japan amount of a lot. His sister runs into this crazy goth MILF baddie who gives her some cryptic warnings about some run away from the butterflies. So that's usually everyone's cue to get the fuck away from whatever place they're in, right? But no, the words went in one ear and out the other, and aw, what a cute little... Ah, is that my ex? So the high schooler... Wait, what was his name again? Damn, bitch, I get it! Okay, so Oni-chan stumbles across his little sister's lifeless body and understandably starts to crash the fuck out. She's infected with the pupa virus, which basically just makes her an ugly motherfucker whose hunger can only be satiated with the flesh of humans. The brother tries to save her, it doesn't work, and he gets eaten, yada yada yada. Turns out he isn't dead and also has been infected with the virus. And the virus regenerates damaged tissue. Wait. How convenient. So the brother realizes the only logical way to stop her from rampaging the streets is to have her eat him repeatedly as an infinite food glitch.
What?
Now the show frames this as a pure act of love that, in spite of their difficult circumstances, shows their unshakable familial bond. But let's be fucking for real. You just wanted an excuse to set up your freaky incest cannibalism. Because if this show was truly about the beautiful power of family, scenes like this would not fucking exist. Oh, fucking noises. The series tries to conjure up backstories of an abusive father and a mom that left the two children, but it just comes off as a shitty attempt to add depth to the story. The dad is comedically evil. He beats his kids and his wife relentlessly because he thinks it's fun and just loves the idea of people suffering in general. The siblings are also being relentlessly pursued by secret organizations that want to experiment on and torture them. It's so obvious that they're trying to make a sob story that makes it seem like there's so much more to the show than just fetishes. Just fucking own it, bro, honestly. I literally would not be criticizing it nearly as much if they had the balls to be self-aware. And this lack of self-awareness is present throughout the whole series. Overly edgy panels and overly melodramatic scenes that are trying so fucking hard to like wring even a microgram of a tear out of my eye. But nope, my shit is drier than a woman when she sees me. God forbid we write a story that isn't tonally inconsistent as shit. One panel, it could be the most cutesy, chibi, watashi wa kawaii desu art style, the type of shit you'd see in an e-girl's bedroom, and then immediately follow up with straight eye rape. Or at the end of each chapter, they'll take one of the fucked up scenes that you just witnessed in the chapter, then draw it in like the most cutesy, trying to be adorable style ever. Am I even supposed to take this seriously? Because the fuckers writing it clearly aren't. These awkward ass tone shifts that are littered throughout the series are a masterclass at rage baiting its audience. But everything I've complained about so far pales in comparison to the biggest offense this series has committed. Literally the entire plot. I have soaked my eyes in bleach for the past week, and they still haven't recovered from the things I have witnessed. I don't really give a fuck about graphic scenes, like that's all normal horror media shit. But when you mix gore and freak, it messes with my brain chemistry. Chapter 3. To prevent his little sister from going full Titan on the people in the streets, they hide in a cramped bathroom stall. caressing one another, their faces incestuously flustered as she fucks that shit up like it's curry chicken. Dog, why are we posted up like this? Chapter 15. The originator of the pupa virus explains how Oni-chan's sister became the monster she is. And so like any normal person, he sticks his anteater-length appendage out, licks his lips, and absolutely violates the inside of his head to transfer his memories. Chapter 17. The series begins to reveal their parents' backstories. The mom, Sachiko, recounts her interesting tale of the monster. Apparently, it entered her abdomen through, you know, the forbidden entry point with its tongue. It somehow gets worse. I want you to look at this single panel and understand what in the world happened. You ready? Here we go. Yeah, it's not pretty, is it? If you haven't fully grasped the situation yet, or you're just too lazy to read, this Hasegawa Utsutsu she's referring to is Oni-chan. This Hasegawa Yume is his sister. She, put their incest baby, like their zygote, inside of herself, and then use her own uterus as a fucking incubator. What? Spoiler warning for the ending, but by this point I spoiled like half the series, and I really don't feel bad because this series is one of the worst pieces of shit I've ever read. It ends with the siblings, naked, repeatedly eating each other and regenerating until their bodies meld into this constantly self-consuming flesh amalgamation that dissipates into a bunch of butterflies, disappearing into the sky. And as the reader, you just kind of sit there and go, okay. There's no overarching message, no moral of the story. Shit just happens for the sake of happening. Now, I left out a lot of plot details and only showed the most abhorrent scenes, but trust me, the context really does not help at all. It makes me think of when kids tell stories where the general structure is a string of unrelated events connected by the phrase, and then. Well, isn't that the perfect analogy? I'm sure you've noticed by now, but I have been mainly showing scenes from the manga so far, and not the anime. Well, there is a good reason for that. Studio Dean, an anime studio with an up and down track record, made possibly the worst adaptation of a story that you can make. Yeah, it's somehow even worse than the God Forbidden Promised Neverland Season 2. That's fucking saying something. There are barely any clips to even show you guys, because the producers decided that making 12 5-minute episodes to adapt a 33-chapter manga was enough to be satisfactory to manga fans and viewers. Even if they made a quick buck by creating one of the most infamously shit anime of all time, which naturally drew in viewers, they definitely didn't do it on purpose. Not only were the episodes a mere 5 minutes long, but they adapted the story in the most random order. It felt like I was watching a highlight reel with no real conclusion. Although the manga had an ending that just kinda ended, it at least tried to mask itself with a feeling of finality. Meanwhile, the anime just ends on a random gag episode that has literally nothing to do with the main story. Now, don't even get me started on the ugly-ass art, shitty animation, and overall poor production quality, because the real question that must be answered is, who in the fuck was this show made for? Lots of anime fans just look for something that is different. For a lot of people, if something makes you feel anything, whether it's god awful or amazing, it's always better than feeling nothing. Moral of the story, if you want more people to know about your show, either make it a beautifully written masterpiece or one of the worst pieces of dog shit one can lay their eyes on. It's really your choice, to be honest. Hey guys, it's been a while since my last video. I can explain myself. 1, personal issues that will not permanently affect my upload schedule. And 2, obviously school has been handing my ass to me on a silver platter. I fully expect this video to not get many views, and for those who are tuning back in and those who have found me through this video, genuinely thank you. I love you guys, and I'll be back with another one shortly before my summer classes start. It definitely won't take over 3 months this time. Or will it? Jokes. Have a good day.